what I do is I fit out narrowboats, which are either to live on or just for extended cruising. And I've been doing it now since 2006, so this is boat number 12. Well, that's what a lot of people say, is that I wouldn't know where to begin. And you actually work your way from the base, from the really bottom of the floor. It has to be ballasted out with bricks. So you have to put in about 4 or 5 tons of bricks right at the bottom. And then once the floor is in, the chap will come and spray foam the insulation in a day, and it will suddenly change from being a very dark hole to a very bright white interior. How did I get into it? Well, as I was nearing 60, I was thinking about retirement and what I wanted to do in my retirement, and I wanted to sort of wind down, and employing people is always a bit of a big responsibility. So I decided that I would try and find something that I could do on my own, and fitting out a narrowboat absolutely fitted that perfectly. So that's what I do. This is the table that sits in the saloon in the L-shaped seating, which also converts to a double bed. But this is the main table that you would use to eat from. And this is where it will be stored. And then when you wanted to use it with your seating arrangement, get it out and it will stand here, so everyone can sit around the table. I absolutely love it. I really look forward to coming. In fact, I lie awake at night thinking, what shall I do tomorrow? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make the steps for the bunks, and I will do this, that and the other, and make the table for the dining table, or it could be electrics, or it could be plumbing. So all through it, and then it changes. Each boat has been quite different. So no, I just really enjoy doing it. But this boat is our boat. So this is a bit special. It's been handed over to a customer halfway, and then we will take them for the next 2 or 3 miles going over the boat. And then we say cheerio, and off they go into the sunset. The beauty of the British canals and the canal system is that you normally get a view because the canals followed the contours of the land. So you're always hugging a hillside or something, and there is always a view on one side. There have been some interesting owners because normally a lot of people have been going through a split in their marriage or something like that, and they haven't been left with enough to buy a house, so they have opted for a more reasonable option, which is owning their own boat. Pass it on with trepidation, really, hoping that things go absolutely swimmingly so that they don't come back and say, oh, by the way, there is water pouring in. We did have one occasion when they were out in the wilds of Lincolnshire and on their way to, it was Tattersall Bridge, I think, and they said, we're sinking, what do we do? And those are the sort of calls you don't want to get. And anyway, it turned out that it was a manufacturing fault, is that he'd also put a case of beer on top of a pipe, and every time he filled the boat with water, he was actually filling the boat itself. So eventually, water came up above the floor, and they realised they were sinking. So we went over armed with pumps and everything, and there it was easy to find because all the carpet tiles were up on the top of the deck, and they were in a bit of a state. But we soon got them sorted out and found the cause and rectified it. You really have to be a practical person. You have to be a jack of all trades and master of none, because the actual work that I do, the woodwork and the fitting out of the boat, is really just me, and it's not doesn't have to be checked out by a professional person, and it's as good as the work that I put into it, really. Oh, I just love it. There's not much pressure when you're on a 6-month work cycle for a completion. The day is your own. You can work as long as you want. You can wrap it up in a day if it's really cold and miserable. You can call it a day at 4 o'clock, or when it starts to get dark and the lighting isn't particularly good on the boat, you would say, right, that's it for today. But then you'll make it up later in the year.